Welcome to today's Hooray It's Thursday, which we've moved to Friday with Courtney. So I'm Courtney. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Australia. I will be coming to you live the majority of Thursdays. Every now and then they will be a Friday, depending on what I'm working. I also am a nurse and a midwife, and I work at one of our local doctor's surgeries. So depending on what my roster holds each week, because it does change, will depend on what day I come to see you. But it's usually around the 3 or the 4 o'clock mark. I will put a note on my Facebook page. So if you're not following my Facebook page yet, please pop on down there and subscribe to that so that you get notification. But that's where I let everybody know. I also have a VIP Stampers group and I have a VIP chat. The VIP chat is mainly for people that come to my classes so that I can keep them up to date with any class changes, message them about what sort of stamps we're going to use in class and all that sort of stuff. So it's a brand new year. There's some exciting things happening in the Stampin' Up world, and there's exciting things happening all over the world. So welcome to 2025. Welcome to January, and next week, so the 7th, I think. Yeah, next week is the beginning of celebration. So we're on the tail end of our last chance items. If there is anything that you would like out of that December up to December mini, go and grab it from the last chance list. Some of the items have been greatly reduced. Keep an eye on them. They can become low inventory very quickly, and then they run out very, very fast. So that you will get a little bit of a warning. You don't get a lot. Sometimes it can be low inventory 1 minute and the next minute it's gone. So just be aware of that. Just be aware that if you miss out, that's it. Unless you're lucky enough to find something on one of the retired sites, you cannot guarantee it. Now, in saying that, I have a lot of retired items up for grabs. I will put a link later on this evening to my eBay. I was popping them on retired sites, but they were not moving. I've got so many things to move. So I am slowly getting them onto eBay at greatly reduced prices. So if there's something that interests you, you are welcome to pop me a message and see if I've got it. This is for Australian customers only because we can't sell outside of our borders, even our retired things. So in Australia, if you want to pop onto my eBay site later, I will put the link up. I'll actually add it to the comments at some stage. If you're after anything, let me know, especially if you've seen me use it. Now, that's an advantage because you at least know I have it. Okay. If I have it or had it and it's retiring, then it's going to go. I used to have a plan where I would save everything that was retiring, especially the stuff I loved. And you know what? I do still keep some of the things I love. There is still some stamp sets. I've got some stamp sets from the very beginning when I joined Stampin' Up, and I've been with them for over 10 years now. So there is some things that I do keep, but there's usually a particular reason behind me keeping them. Most things will go. I used to keep things for a year. I'd put a post-it note in them. If they hadn't gone within that, if I hadn't reused them within that 12 months and taken that post-it note out, then they went. But now it's just a matter of I need to make room for new goodies, and there's so many fabulous new goodies coming. So I need to make room for new goodies. So new goodies are a priority. So old goodies actually have to go. Now I am going to take my watch off because it's going to drive me insane because my husband's outside playing. We've got a burn off happening. So he's outside playing out there, and every time he walks past the camera, it goes ping, ping, there's someone here. Oh my gosh. So without further ado, this is a little bit of a sneak peek. We're talking about our mini catalogue, which is starting in January. You've seen lots of good things from the previous catalogue. Now, with this will come a celebration catalogue that lasts until February, only lasts until the end of February. If you don't have a copy, if you don't think you're getting a copy, I've sent out my ones. Natalie, you will be getting yours very soon. Yours will probably take the longest to get there. If you don't think you're getting a copy, I sent them to customers that have purchased from me in the last 6 months. But I only posted them last week. So give them a chance to get there. But if you would like one of these, flick me a message and I'll get one out to you as soon as possible. The PDFs go live on the 7th. There is a link in the comments to hook up to my newsletter. if you hook up to my newsletter, you will get the PDF copy on the 7th in your inbox. So just so that you're aware, that's a big day here. Now, so with Celebration, I can't show you the insides yet because they are a bit protected, but very quickly, there is a joining promotion. Now, Celebration always brings a joining promotion. The other, I'm playing with stamp set out of here and some designer series paper out of here. But I'm also going to talk to you about the joining promotion in particular, because one of the things in the joining promotion is that you get to choose for $169. Now, these guys are $62.50 plus postage each. Just keep that in mind. You get to choose 2 of these of your choice. It is the full range of Stampin' Right markers. These 2 are upside down. And they come in color families. So we've got our Regals, our Brights. Oh, that's the new color core connection. I picked the wrong one up here. Our Subtles and all of that. So we've got all of our colors. This one here is not correct, so I'll take that one away. But there's 4 of these families. My other one's over there in the drawer. They come in their family. You get the 10 markers for $62.50, so it's $6.20. That's cheaper than a marker you're going to get at Officeworks. And they match the ink. They're the water-based ink. They match the ink that we've got. So what I thought I'd do is one more year. I thought that was an appropriate way to start the new year. It's fun. And I'm going to show you a couple of little techniques that I know with the markers, and they're a great way to start. There, you get 2 packets of markers as your kit. You're $169. You're going to get $235 worth of products. So you can buy some stamp sets, some paper, some adhesives. You're going to get 2 packets of markers extra, and you're going to get an exclusive stamp set. Now, I don't have that stamp set, so I cannot show it to you, but that's all right. It is a pretty fabulous stamp set. All right, just take my word for it. It's a line one, and does it put it? I'm just going to have a quick look. It is a cling mount stamp, so it's red rubber. Okay, so what have I got here? I've got Subtles, Brights, and Regals. Actually, I'm going to use the Regals collection because that is the one that I will need. So I've also pulled over, and I haven't opened it yet. You know, it's funny. Oh, don't mind me. It was funny. I was looking at the designer series papers, and I'm not normally a 6x6 girl. Okay, those people that are scrapbookers, if anyone's commenting, I can't see the comments at the moment, so hopefully if anyone's commenting, I'll have to catch up with them later. It's just not showing me anything, so we'll see. Restream was giving me a bit of grief. They keep updating things, and I feel like I'm saying that all the time. Let me just go on. We can cheat here. It says that I'm live on Facebook, and there is no comments yet, so that's okay. We're all sweet. So this paper here is Timeless Plaid. Now, Stampin' Up is an American company, and they love their plaid over there. Hi, Lol. How are you going? I love this. Let's make you a birthday card. No. We'll see. Lol's got a big birthday this year. So this is Timeless Plaid. It is the guys over in the States love their plaid. It reminds me of Grandpa's pajamas, and some are probably my kitty pajamas, but it's really quite cute. In a pack of 6x6, you're going to get 4 sheets of each one. All right, they're double-sided like our other ones. I have a preference for 12x12 because I am a scrapbooker. I'm just trying to move these, fan them out a bit for you so that you can see them, and then I'm going to turn them over. All right, I'm getting there. I'm not doing too bad. The colours in here, I can see Misty Moonlight. I can see, it looks like Calypso Coral. Interesting combination. I can see some grey granite. I could just pull the piece of paper off the back, and I could actually just blurt them all out, which is what I'm going to do. Okay, so we've got Basic Beige, Boho Blue, Cajun Craze. Oh, Calypso Coral. Yeah, there's one I got. Cherry Cobbler. All right. Okay, I believe you. We might see that when we turn them over. Crumb Cake, Early Espresso, Lost Lagoon, Misty Moonlight, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Pebble Path, Pecan Pie, and Wild Wheat. And then that is the other side. So, yes, I can see all of those colours in there. All right. Hi, Lisa. How you going? All right. So some fabulous colors, and I'm going to show you. What we're going to do is I've got a card base of Misty Moonlight, and I've got my markers. So let's have a play. What can we do with markers? Because I love the markers. What I didn't bring over with me was a stamp cleaner. Oh, I've got some baby wipes. If all else fails, grab a baby wipe. Okay. So I came over with Bare Basics today. We've got a bit of shadow happening here because it's very bright outside. And I didn't think would be able to see. But let's see if it sorts itself out now, which it has. Excellent. When I came on a little bit earlier, I came to check. It was, oh, hello, Donna. It was so bright that everything was just like you couldn't see. So 4 o'clock's at the moment a good time because of the brightness. So all I brought with me was an envelope because we need those, a card base, and then I've got my little packet here. So Donna will recognise this. Actually, so will Lisa and Lowell. And I've got my adhesives and my basic white stuck in here. The other thing I had trouble finding, because I don't know about you guys, I cleaned up for Christmas, which translates to shoved everything in drawers, and I had a bit of trouble finding some things. Okay, so we're going to need a card inside, an insert, and we're going to need a piece for the front and maybe a spare. All right, so we'll need at least those ones. I'll just move that out of the way because it's giving me a bit of shadow. And looking at this, I'm going to use the dog and the cake, and that you're how old in dog years you'd be. Now, I think someone can, a retreat project, maybe. No, not this one. In dog years you'd be. So is it cats that it's one for every 7? Oh, Donna, you need to reread that, my friend, because I'm going to look what Donna wrote. I think this is funny because I actually know she meant craft room. Donna wrote that she's yeah. Okay, yeah, all is good. We'll hide that. I'm sorry, Donna. Some days it is a crack room. Some days my craft is like my crack. It just gets me. It makes me excited. So anyway, so where was I? I'm going to do a bloke's card because I know they're hard to. A lot of us, yeah, a lot of us struggle. So it's dogs that are one for every 7 years. So if you've got someone that's turning 21, you're going to times it by 7, and you can give them quite an amusing card because we actually have lots of numbers now, and you can pop those numbers on the inside. So depending on who you're giving the card to will depend on who you add it to. Yeah. Yes, Donna. Voice to text can sometimes be really bad. So I'm sure we've all been there. So we're going to put one of these in, but first up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use those for my inspiration. So I'm just going to put them all up there. And there's a couple of things that we're going to do. We'll do our bare basics first, which is fold our cardstock in half and make sure it's nice and neat. Okay, it's just an A4 piece of paper cut in half. If you were scoring it, you're scoring it 10.5 down the middle here so that you can then fold it. Okay, now I have put the ones that I would like together already together. And let's start with this piece here. So if I'm using a fairly plain piece, actually let's make a decision. I'm thinking that one there is going to work very nicely because it's got quite a tight, small design. So it will actually work for what I want to do quite beautifully. If I wanted to, I could just use the other side. But the colors in here are going to be our boho blue, our misty moonlight. Well, I've already got quite a lot of misty moonlight, so I'm not going to bring any more of that in. Or I might, just don't hold me to that. That looks like our pecan pie, and I'm going to say that there's maybe some pebble path in there. All right, so if I'm using our regals, they're not necessarily going to work. All right, these are our new ones because I bought them separate. You could actually, there was a point there where you could actually get new core colors in one packet. Now I'm afraid to tell you they've all gone. That one there will be Misty Moonlight. This one here will be Blueberry Bush. Is going to be too bright. What are you? Yeah. Blueberry Bushel. Where's my boho blue? That's Azure. Oh, they're not always easy to pluck out of here. There's Balmy Blue. And I'm going to, so far I've taken out of Misty Moonlight and I've got Balmy Blue. So Misty Moonlight's in the set that I've obviously left in the drawer. Let me just grab it. Okay, Misty Moonlight's in the set that is not here with me, but that's okay. All right, so I'm going to use these ones here anyway. So what have we got here? We've got, that's Cajun Craze. So depending on what we pick will depend on, that looks like Pretty Peacock. So you want to get a variety of blues and the colors that you're going to pull forward essentially. So I might just go with Misty Moonlight and Balmy Blue in this particular case, okay? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bit messy. Yes, it did give us a bit of a laugh. Hi, Lynn. How are you going? All right, so we've got on our markers, we've got a bullet tip and we've got a brush tip. And you'll notice that the difference between them, there is a fine line and there is, oh my gosh, you should see all the weeds just fall past. There is a fine line between, there's a fine line and there's a thick line so that you can see the difference. The caps will come off and they will actually stick onto the other end so that you don't lose them, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a bit of Misty Moonlight and I'm just going to give it a bit of a swirly look, okay? My Balmy Blue, which is quite different, I'm going to come in from the other sides and just give it a little bit of a swirl. And then we'll do the same here with Misty Moonlight again. And the same here. Okay, so it's just a little bit messy, just a little bit. Okay, all right, pop that aside and then we'll work out what works together. So one of my other pieces of basic white is hiding over here. Okay, so now I'm going to hang out with my regals. Okay, my neutrals collection, which are in the drawer somewhere. Just so that you know, these won't live in here forever. I buy in the online store, you can get our stamp cases. So similar to the one that the stamps come in, without stamps, of course, and they come in packs of 4. And what you can do with those is that you can actually, I'm looking for my stamp set because it's developed legs. Here it is. What you can do with those is that you can pop your stamps. You can put so it's just a normal case. You will notice if I was to put them, these fit in here perfectly and you can fit the whole family in there. Okay. So, and then if you really want to, you can cut this piece out and just stick it on the front. All right. But so my block is here. I've only put some of them together, the ones that I'm going to use. So what I'm thinking I will do is I'm going to trim this down a little bit. Okay, because I'm actually going to end up cutting out my dog, but my cake is going to be featured. So we'll just trim this down just a smidge because I didn't, actually I can do this a little bit more. Okay. Because I'm a bit too far on that side, I want it a bit more even. So I'm just going to trim it down a little bit more, which is actually going to make it so that more of our plaid underneath can be seen. Okay. Yeah, we could come a little bit closer. I'm just going a little bit at a time so that I don't go over where I want, from where I want. Okay. All right. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I brought over my circle punches. Now there's 3 of these in the online store. There's 2 3/8, 2 inches, and 1 3/4. Now our cake, and the size that they are on here is the size that they are. Okay. So just so that you know that. So our cake will fit perfectly in the 2-inch punch. All right, just so you know. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch out of here a circle. What I've got to decide is, do I want to have an edge, or do I just want to punch out the whole lot? I think I'm going to punch out the whole lot. And I've come down. I'm not going to be in. I'm a little bit off skew, and that's okay because that's where I want it to be. So essentially, this is going to go onto my card, onto my DSP. It's going to have some cake in there. It's going to be white underneath there, and my puppy dog is going to sit here, and then I'm going to have my sentiment. Okay, so that's one way we can use our markers to make a background. All right, then I've got to marry up. I'm going to cut this piece in half. All right, as long as it's bigger than this piece. Now, don't throw this away because that makes for a really nice feature piece. It looks great with stuff stamped on the top of it. If you watch this space, eventually next week, I might have something done with it. So I'm just going to cut this piece as 8.5. It's 8.5 by 9.5 because I know that's bigger than that circle. All right, see? And the reason why I wanted to make it bigger than that circle is because I need that circle to sit like so. Now to do this, I'm going to now colour direct to my red rubber. The beauty about red rubber is it holds onto the ink beautifully, okay? So it's something that I really like. So when you are colouring with markers, these are water-based markers, so you can use these markers to colour. And let me see, I've used, this is subtles and this will be neutrals as well. Okay, you can pick whichever colors that you want. So because I've already got the subtles range, my neutrals are over there, which is a real bummer, but that's okay. What color are you? You're pecan pie. All right, so if I've left I'm leaving my regals and my brights out because you get 2 packets, right? So my regals and my brights are out. What other colors have we got in here? No, you're a bright. Lemon lolly, I've got you here. So I've pulled out pecan pie because I want to use it as well. All right. So what we can do is we can color our cake. Now, because we can't see this way up, and I want it to be a lined cake, I'm going to do a nice blue, and I normally work from lightest to darkest. So let's actually do that because that's probably a very good place to start. So we've got our candle flames. You just want to colour in your candle flames. I've coloured them in, I'm colouring them in with lemon lolly. It's probably not as bright as what I would go normally. I would normally probably use some Daffodil Delight or something like that. But if we're just sticking with these two, for those 2 packets, we're just going to colour them in. Now, you'll notice that I'm not going like this on it because that doesn't make it that doesn't colour it very nicely. I'm just rubbing it along it. It will dry, especially in this. It's very hot here. It's quite humid still though, but that ink will dry, and then we're going to huff on it. Okay, so our candles, you can do a multitude of colors of candles. They can be any color you like. We could put gold candles, but we're actually going to have a caramel cake. Early espresso would have been really good to have here for this, but you know, it's over on the other side of the room somewhere, probably locked in some sort of cupboard somewhere. But anyway, that's okay. So let's do blue candles, and we can do some alternating candles. So we're going to do some light blue ones and some misty moonlight ones. So we've got light blue, dark blue, and you've got to hold your tongue right, which is why I didn't talk then. And if you're using your lightest color first, then you're not going to wreck your ink tips if they accidentally touch the other color. And we're going to do some dark blue in the middle. Holding. So hopefully you all had a fabulous celebration. What color icing are we going to do? It's a bloke's cake, but we could still do pink icing, I would think. No, we're going to do pale blue. Let's keep it. So we've got some pale blue drip icing, and we're having a caramelly colored cake. Okay, so I'm just running my light blue marker along here. Now I should have run it across there first, but I didn't, because you know, hindsight's a beautiful thing. But there's actually the top edge of our cake in here. I really need that early espresso. Oh well, too late now. Okay, and we'll do pecan pie cake. Yum. It actually sounds nice too, doesn't it? And we're going to have a blue. What color ribbon will we have? We're going to have a blue ribbon. Something's bipping. Oh, it's the notifications to say my husband's working in the yard again. Pecan pie almost looks like gold. And out of this box of markers, let's just have, that looks like Calypso Coral. How handy is that? We are going to have the fire died down. So, hi Nat, how are you going? Bet it's hot up there where you are. All right, so the fire died down, so I'm thinking, what's that noise? And he's got the blower vac on it to keep going. All right, so now the ink on that stamp has dried. I can tell you that now because I can see it. So what we could do, and I'll just go like this. Right. So what we'll do when the ink's dried on our stamp, okay, we can huff it. So, and you'll notice it all goes foggy. So I'll do it again so you can see. See how my actual block goes foggy. So you know you're getting some moisture on it. And then we want to stamp it down here in this circle. And hopefully I've made it wet enough that our multiple colors will come through. How cool does that look? Now there is a little piece here that I missed. So you can come in with your other end if you want, but just be aware that it will be a bit thicker than the rest. All right. Now I am also going to make this an actual ribbon. So this is a way you can color in without there being lines. So if you wanted to color your cake in, you could. You could also use a blender pen and color your cake in. You can color your icing in as well. So it'll give you the lines for your coloring in. If you want to use a blender pen, you'll actually get a finer line. All right. And the line sort of still stays there even after you've colored in. Okay. But I've got to hold my tongue straight because I'm not very good at colouring in with these, I don't think. Not in one go. No. Colouring in's fun. So we'll just give that a little bit of extra colour. And then it's up to you whether you colour the top in. We might just leave it white in this case because the drip is all that we've got down there. Otherwise, the cake's got white icing on it. What do you reckon? Now, the other thing that you can do is you can colour in your plate. Do we want to colour in our plate? I'm thinking not. No. Yep, melting up there. I bet you are. Now, with this, you can make it a little bit of a shaker card if you wanted to. There's actually some really pretty little shaker things coming as well, but I haven't got them yet, so I can't. So I'm just going to raise it. This piece here is going to have some dimensionals under it, which are hiding on my table over here. So to raise this baby, what I would do with this one is I would actually put my dimensionals in prime posies around here. Okay. Now, this would use more dimensionals than what I will normally use, and that's okay. Somewhere, here it is. I was going to say somewhere there is my take your pick tool. Stick your take your pick tool into the top of the dimensional, give it a bit of a flick, and you will end up with them all by rights on the end of your tool. You can take them all off in one go and pop them in your bin. Now, with this piece, you want that cake straight. So it's a matter of making sure your cake is straight. And as you can see, it's not straight on there, but my cake is straight. And then I'm going to use my grid pad to pop that down on there. Okay. Now, when this goes onto my card, I'll be using other dimensionals to do this. Okay. And then I can pop some glue on here and that will give it some support. All right. But we need a puppy dog. Okay. So I'll just take this one off here. We've used that guy. Now, with your puppy dog, you can also colour that one in. You can make him dark around the outside. You could stamp. I didn't bring any other inks over here with me. So you could stamp your dog to match this piece here. We could leave him white. We could make him different colours. You could actually stamp him in, let's say, early espresso, and then colour him in a lighter colour. You can colour him with your Stampin' Blends, whatever you choose. So I'm going to give us a tan dog. And he's going to have a blue, pale blue and yellow and orange hat on. Okay. So now he's got a funny eye and he's got his tongue stick out. So he's going to need a different colour for his tongue. So what have we got here? That looks like bubble bath. You know what? That'll work. What colour are you here? You are fresh freesia. You won't, because we're not having a purple tongue. Okay. All right, so I'm going to colour his tongue with my bubble bath, because he's going to have a pink tongue. And let's give him a dark misty moonlight eye. So that his eye's going to be misty moonlight, but the puppy dog's going to be pecan pie. So we'll go along and we'll colour him. So I'm just running my markers along my stamp like I did before. The thing we got to do with this bit is that we don't want to colour over our, I could have given him a pink nose, but it's too late now. We don't want to colour our hat, and we don't want to colour over our tongue. Okay. So essentially, if you've got packets of markers, if you've got all the packets of markers, you've got every colour that we have. There is a black Stampin' Right marker in the catalogue that's separate. It's a journaling pen that you can get, and it writes beautifully, but it's also got a brush end. Now, what are we going to do? What colour are we going to do this hat? So I'm thinking we can do, if I colour it in the hat with the stripes in the pale blue, so that's balmy blue, let's put our Calypso Coral on the top here. I was going to do some yellow, but I'll show you how I'm going to do that, the lemon lolly in there in a minute. Okay, again, we're going to huff on it. You can hear me doing it. And if Amanda's watching, she's going to hate me because we're also going to fussy cut. So now we've got a little pug that's very cute and is just an outline. So it's again up to you if you want to color him in. I think he looks quite cute like that. He matches our cake perfectly. If you would like to put some of your lemon lolly into this here, that would actually work quite nicely. If you want to put a little bit of color into his tongue, you know what? I think that would actually work quite nicely as well. Okay, because he's got a tongue sticking out. And I'm even going to color in that button nose. Okay. And his ears. So he's a patchwork pug. You could actually put, nobody said that he had to be plain white, did they? All right, so he's got a bit of colour on him now, okay? And trusty old friends, grab out your snips and we're going to fussy cut him out. Now, I haven't prepared one earlier, so I'm sorry you have to watch me do it. You'll notice that for those that haven't watched me fussy cut before, I move the paper whilst I am closing the, what would you call them? The blades of the scissors together. Okay. This stamp set does not have a set of dies that go with it. If you're on one of those dodgy sites that rip off all of the copyright and do all that sort of stuff and you've got dies with it, you know it's not an original because this stamp set does not have dies with it. And my suggestion is that you avoid those places like the Plaid. You guys know the ones I'm talking about. Okay. I have a real thing about copyright, and I think there are some places that like to rip it off quite considerably, and I do not approve. You get what you pay for. So with Stampin' Up products, you know that you're getting quality, and you know what you're getting is from legitimate designers. I've just realized I'm going to color his tail in too. Legitimate designers. Oh, I could just put it on the end. No, I'm just going to color the whole tail. And let's go with a little bit on that foot. Why not, hey? Why not? And I'm going to pop. I'm just going to color in that one and that one on his hat. All right. So, yeah, if you're dealing with Stampin' Up, you're getting legit designers. So now we've got to decide if that piece is actually going to work, or if we need to go with a different piece, which is what I think that we will be doing, is going with a different piece. And I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be that one. Okay, now there's a couple of ways that you can save some designer series paper. So we've been playing with markers. However, this designer series paper, it's good. You've got, you don't need to be frugal. You can always just buy another packet, but I do like to be frugal. This piece here you can use for a second card, and the same with that. It's 14.4. The same with that little piece I'm going to use. Now that is the piece that was going to sit, that will sit nicely on that there. But look how much of it I've hidden. Hi Glenda, how are you going? Happy New Year to you as well. Now I've hidden quite a bit of that, so I don't want to hide all that. I feel like it could be considered a waste. When I don't necessarily do this with my stamp sets, that my paper that is not specialty paper, but so if it's specialty paper, always cut out the bits out the middle. You can cut this square out here and use it for something else. Okay, I'm not going to, but normally that is what I would do. It means that you could put it somewhere else in your card, but it'll be up to you. This piece here is going on flat. I don't have, oh, I do have some fiber on the table. Ooh, I was going to say I don't have any fiber on the table, but I do. So, but do I, will it work? Oh, will it work? So this piece is going to sit on here quite nicely. And Misty Moon, as you can see, Misty Moonlight's going to go very nicely with that. All right. Okay, so Misty Moonlight goes very nicely with our piece that's got all of our, that's got heaps of Calypso coral in it. I'm glad that we use that now. And then that's going to look super smick sitting on top. All right. And our puppy dog is going to sit here. Okay, he's also going to have some dimensionals under him. Right. This is the ribbon that I've got sitting on my table. I don't think it'll work. I mean, I could make it work if I wanted to, but I don't think it would work for this. It's not going to add anything that we haven't already got. And sometimes it's a matter of step away from the card. Now, I want your how old in dog years you'd be, because I'm going to put that, I'm going to end up putting the answer on the inside. So this piece here, I'm going to stick down. I am going to put a bit of adhesive on there, and then I will pull up my dimensionals, again, the same way as what I pulled them up before. Okay. Oops. Pop them to the side. All right. And making sure we're even, and you've got lines, so you can sort of judge by those lines that we're fairly even. Okay, puppy dog's going to go up there. Now, when I cut up my pieces of the paper, it is looking pretty good, isn't it? Oh, if I do say so myself. I cut up my pieces of paper. I end up with little bits like this left over, and I end up with hundreds of them. So these are the things that I use them for. Okay, now I better put my glue lid on because it's really quite warm here. All right, so because we've used Calypso Coral and Misty Moonlight as our two main colors, we brought some other colors in, so it's like almost like a 30-30, and then another 30% is, so we've got 30% being our Misty Moonlight and our Calypso Coral. We've got another 30% we could say is our pale balmy blue, because it's shown up quite a lot, and then 10% for some extra colors. So these are the three main colors that we've used in here. No, it's definitely not as warm as their Nat. I will not complain. Sorry. It's warm, but it's not as warm as where Nat is. Nat's up in Wepa, and it's like stifling. So what we can do is, because we've got red rubber, like I said to you before, the same deal with colouring in these guys, we can colour in words as well. So it means that you can either leave words off or talk to you at the same time. It means that you can leave words off when you're colouring a sentiment stamp set. So if you just wanted, in dog years you'd be, you could just colour that in and stamp only that. Or your how old, you could just colour that in and stamp only that. But also, because we want the whole sentiment, you can colour both rows in different colours. Hell, you could colour every letter in a different colour if you really had the patience and you wanted to. But you can make things stand out a lot differently. So there's a couple of things that I'll show you, right? Because I've got heaps of these, and then we can pick. But oh, I didn't bring a stamp cleaner, so we're going to have to use a baby wipe, which means we'll have to talk in the middle. So you can come along and you can go, okay, well, I want to put on here your how old is going to, your how is going to be in balmy blue, so it's going to be quite pale. And then I'm going to put old and its exclamation mark and the question mark over here in Misty Moonlight. And you can have a bit of a play, and then you're going to bring in Calypso Coral, and we're going to come along this bottom bit, and we're going to do Calypso Coral with all of that little bit in dog ears. And then you can actually take it further into the inside, which I won't be doing today because I don't know where this card's going yet. And you can put the numbers of dog years for however old they are in there. Now, this stamp is fairly well positioned on the stamp set. Hi, Elizabeth, how you going? What you want to do is make sure when you first start and stamping them, you can actually stamp them on a piece of scrap with using your grid paper so you can see how straight they are. You could stamp it straight onto your grid paper if you wanted to, as just a tip. But I'm just going to huff on this, make it nice and wet. And then I'm going to go like that. And I think it's crooked, which it is a little bit. But you can see what I mean when I say you're going to get the you're how old. So it's actually changed how that sentiment looks. It gives you that option by doing it this way. So I'm going to redo it because it is a little bit crooked. And I don't want to cut it out. So... But as soon as I put it down, I saw it. I was like, drats. All right, so we'll just go. And because I'm just going to color it in the same colors. Now, if you're one of those lucky ducks that still has a stamparatus in your hot little hands, you can go along and you can just color in the words that you want as you go. And you can stamp them as many times as you like because the stamp positioning tool will stamp them all in exactly the same spot for you. All right. My balmy blue wasn't dark enough on that other one either, but that's okay. We're going to fix that this time. All right. Now, let's make sure I do it right this time. And voila. How's that? Look at that. You're how old? That's very cute. Okay, so I'm just going to flag the end of this. So I'll just cut that off there. Give that a bit of a flag. So when I flag things, I cut them into the middle first, and then I cut to that middle point because then things just automatically fall out. Now, that is going to go, oh, that'll work up there. It'll also work down the bottom down here. All right, because my doggy could sit on it, but I think, and then it doesn't take away from, yeah, that's the one. So it's going to go down here. But with this piece here that you cut off, don't discard it. You'll notice it's got a little piece here that's quite dark. You can pop that underneath there, like so, just for a little bit of a feature. Okay? So if I put this here like so, that piece there is going to sit on top. Okay, so that's what I want to do. Excuse the top of my head in that bottom screen. I'll just put that along there. And you'll notice it's not pushed against that outside edge. And this piece here is I was going to put on dimensionals, but you know what? It's going to end up too big if I do. If you want a little bit of oomph, but not a lot, so a little bit of height, your height can come from glue dots. Glue dots are not flat. There's heaps on this roll. Just put, this one's probably been sitting in the sun. It's important to not keep your stamping supplies anywhere near the sun. But the glue dots, what they do is they give you a little bit of height, not a lot. You can get the same sort of effect if you pop a dot of the multi-purpose glue on and you let it dry, and you'll get like this sticky lump. Okay, but glue dots will add a little bit of height. Now I am putting that over there like so that it's along that edge. But just make sure it's straight. Got to hold your tongue right. But you'll see what I mean. So see how it's got a little bit of height, but it's not a lot. So it's not flat, but it's not popped like everything else that we want is popped. Okay. And this little guy is also going to get some dimensionals. Now, his hat would need a mini. And I'm always looking for reasons to use my minis. Because because I don't use as many of them as I do the big ones. So his hat, his little pom-pom hat gets a mini, and then the puppy dog can have another 2. All right. And okay. All right. There we go. All right, so we've got that. And I've got no gems on the table, although there's some absolutely beautiful gems in our new catalogue. So when it comes to doing our envelope, you can always do exactly the same thing that you did with our... I've just had a visitor arrive. I wonder if she wants to come and say hello. Probably not. All right, so I'm going to colour my puppy dog exactly the same way that I coloured him before, with a little bit of a brown edge around here. Okay, some pale balmy blue along here. And a pecan pie puppy dog. And you know what? We're not going to have the whole body of the dog showing, so I don't have to go all the way down, but I just do have to go around all these bits. And we'll give him that pink tongue still. Come all the way down to there. Do those ears. His bubble bath tongue. Should have done it first because it's a lighter colour, remember? But memory is not serving me well. Our Calypso coral on there. And I nearly forgot his eye that we need to be able to see. And we're going to go, and we just put his little head on there. Okay, so to match the inside, we'll add a little bit of blue to here. And some yellow to our hat. And how cute is he for our envelope? Now, when it comes to the inside, you can pull in some of your plaid to pop on the inside, because I'm going to be counting out now numbers. So if we're 21 times 7 is an awful lot. That's 5 times 7. I can't do that math. But anyway, if you've got a 10-year-old and you're giving them this card, then you're going to make them 70 on the inside. Just saying, okay? So can't do big math at the moment. I'm sure someone's already done it for me on there though. And that there is our card for today. So we're using our markers. Our markers are going to be part of the special in the joining special starting next week, Tuesday, I believe it is. So just after midnight on Tuesday, if you join then, it's $169. You're going to get over $120 worth of goodies. One of them, two packets of markers, exclusive stamp set. Or if you're not up for the markers and that's not something that interests you, anybody else that joins, you can add $51 worth of product of your choice to your catalogue, to your cart. So I think the markers are good value. You can never have enough markers as far as I'm concerned. They're great for writing with. They so you could write in your sentiments in your cards with them if you want to. You can write, your happy birthday, Mary Jane. All is good. It's up to you, but it's a fabulous special that's one that can't be missed. So if you would like a catalogue and you're not getting one, you don't have a demonstrator, let me know, send me a message, whatever form of communication you'd like to use the best, and I'll get a hard copy out to you. Otherwise, sign up for, use the link in the description, sign up for the newsletter, and you'll get the PDF arrive in your inbox on the first day, which is 7th, which is next Tuesday. I'm going to go now, and I'm going to catch up with you all later. It was lovely to see you. Happy New Year. May this be a very safe and prosperous new year for all of you. Toodaloo.